Board. How are you doing, my man?
Perfection. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Busy start to the day.
It was an early start, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Did a run this morning, then to the gym and did a gym session as well. So bit busy and
Well,
going to be doing some meal prep later as well. So
oh, we
yeah,
love a bit of meal prep. How far do you run
exactly.
then?
It was only like 3 to 4K doing some interval work, just getting back up to speed with running again. So just nice and easy to re-enter the stage of running.
Oh, fair play, fair play.
Mm.
And what were we meal prepping?
Got some overnight oats to make today. Did majority of the meal prep yesterday with chicken meals and some mince, making some lasagna as
Well,
well.
I love
Um, and
lasagna.
then and then making some banana bread as well. So that's gonna be nice.
That's your go-to though. Well, I always see you in the gym with banana bread though.
Yeah,
Different
exactly. It's
cut,
my it's
different
my
styles.
go-to it's my go-to kind of snack at the moment. Just have half a loaf of banana bread
Mm.
just to pick it up again and go from there.
So I'm gonna convince Emma to maybe hop on that little banana bread choo-choo train again.
It is a good way to get that carb in. I will
Can't
say,
play.
good
It's
energy
so
source.
good. Oh. When you put chocolate chips in it, I think that's underrated. Chocolate chip
Mm.
banana bread.
Oh, 100%. It just
Phenomenal.
takes that sweetness to the next level. It's great.
Oh. Emma, can you make some banana bread tonight? No, she'd kill me if I said that. Nah.
Ah, he'll be fine.
Nah, I'll be fine. Right. So, for those that don't know, this is Tom. Um, Tom, tell us a little bit about yourself, like your background, like what you do, what got you into like coaching and things like that, so on, so on. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, firstly, thank you for having me today. It's an honor. So I really appreciate you asking and reaching out to have me on here. So basically, I got introduced into kind of coaching when I was 15, 16 years old at school. That was my first taste of having like an S&C or a strength and conditioning coach. And that kind of got me into wanting to understand more about the gym and how a program is made and how we can pair up certain movements to kind of get the best out of your performance. Because at the time I was doing rugby, hockey, and cricket as my main three sports. So I wanted to balance all of that and kind of get the best result for game day at the end of the week on a Saturday. So that was my first exposure to it. And then when I was kind of like 18, making the decision of do I continue down my design route or do I go into a bit more kind of like sports focus? Went to uni and did design instead. But in the back of my mind, I always wanted to be involved with sports throughout kind of like my whole life. So I got into more rugby coaching, so that so I could help like teams out with actually learning how to play a sport. And on the side of that, when I was going to the gym with mates, they would kind of ask me like certain questions because I'd been going to the gym for about 5 years, 6 years by then. They kind of asked me how my training is compared to like what it used to be and like understand why I do it now. And then left uni, um, decided design wasn't what I wanted to do. Um, so I did a strength and conditioning course. It took me quite a lot longer than I wanted it to, purely because in my head, when I got to a certain point, it just was like, you're not going to do this. Like, what's the point of trying? I very much bogged myself down with it.
How
Um,
long did it take you to do it in the end then? Or how long was it
so
supposed to take you as well?
it was like when I got it, it was during COVID. So that's when I first bought it.
Yeah.
It was an online course, so I could take as long as I wanted to do it. I did the first like stage or two quite quickly. And then it went on to kind of building a year-long program. And I never had exposure to that other than with my own training, but I'd only be training like or block preparing 4 to 8 weeks of a block, never
Yeah.
a whole year. So that was new, and it kind of just went downhill from there. My mind was like, "You're not going to do this. Don't even bother trying." So I got that in 2020, and I didn't complete it until 2023 or 2024.
Oh, so some serious time
Yeah,
though. Yeah.
sometime, yeah. But in the completion, I reached out to one of my friends from Loughborough Uni who is a strength and conditioning coach or has been a strength and conditioning coach for Leicester Tigers and Waratahs Rugby down in Australia.
Yeah.
And he really helped me kind of understand and put into practice like that year-long programming and really helped me with that process. So I can't thank him enough for that. And then once I got a bit of understanding and a bit of feedback from that, the process just went so quickly. Um, and then we had our in-person assessment where we had to teach the person that we got given certain drills to improve running, and then do some lifting assessments, like learning how to do the Olympic lifts, either a clean and jerk or a snatch, and then some basic gym movements like a squat. So just kind of understanding how you can teach the movements to someone else and stuff like that. So yeah.
Do you know what? Teaching us a clean jerk or snatch is more complicated. Well, you'll probably say otherwise because you know this, but when I remember doing it as a topic at uni, teaching a
Mm,
clean and jerk or snatch, and then having to do an assignment on where they just be like, right, you're going to teach this person how to do a snatch, and you're like, what the fuck? It's like it's just
mm.
so many drills, so many aspects to it. It just blows my mind. So I think you could get into the nitty gritty kind of thing. So you'd be like all very technical, whereas me, I'd be like, yeah, no, feet there, hands there, no, more power, mate, more power.
Yeah, I will say this as those two are the most technical lifts in the gym
Mm.
to kind of coach and complete. And then there's two different ways to go about it. Obviously, you've got the main Olympic weightlifters who are there to do the right technique, get as much weight onto the bar, but do it in a correct way. And then you've got the athlete way of coaching it, where if you take for a sprinter per chance, for an example, you're not looking at the most exquisite technique. You just want them to move that weight from A to B as powerful and as fast as you can.
Yeah.
So, uh, just to generate that power and that strength and that fast twitch kind of fiber, um, you're not looking at the technique wise. You're just right, do this, move it as well as you can, but also don't do it so much that you're going to injure yourself.
Nah, or drop
So
the bar on your head. Not that I
yeah,
would.
it's that
Not that I have.
fine. We've done it a few times. I've definitely, when I've been doing some jerks, I've chinned myself with a barbell multiple times and just like, oh, that's woken me up at like 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, yep,
Five
needed that
thirty in the
wake up call.
morning.
Yeah.
Oh,
So when I was still at my day job, my 9 to 5, and as well as working at Pure Gym, I went to a pure Olympic weightlifting gym, and the only time I could train was like 5:30 in the morning
I'm guessing it was
because
just you in the gym.
yeah, it was literally just me. I felt bad for my coach because the amount of noise complaints he probably got from the neighbors around the gym was just ridiculous. And then also one day of the week he would come in at like 6:30 in the morning in his Udi, and I'd just be finishing up or like in the final exercise that I was doing. He'd just be arriving and be like, so how's the gym? How's the session gone? And I'm like, I'm practically done. I'm energized. He is half asleep still with his coffee in his hand, just like, this is too early, Tom. It's a Friday and I didn't want to be here. And I'm like, I do apologize.
5:30 on a Friday. That's mad.
It,
But
that
I
when,
swear. That's why I used to, because I on your social media, used to, if, correct me if I'm wrong, or I might
mm,
be thinking of someone else. I used to see like you'd do a run to the gym, do your session, and run back, something like
yeah, so I think at one point, I was doing because I lived quite close to the gym and I was doing some kind of endurance event at the time. I would run down, do my weight session, then run back. Is that the best way to train? Probably not. But it was at the time, it was something that helped me have that little bit more freedom and control over kind of like when I could train and fit everything in at the exact same time because I was training 9 to 5 at Pure Gym as well, and then also starting as an S&C coach for a club down in Leicester
Mm.
as my first year, getting into team sport. So it was my schedule was all over the shop.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
didn't really have much time in the evenings to train or anything like that. It was a rough like year or so, but it's given me a lot more other skills and kind of um, understanding of how busy schedules can get.
It just goes to show that no matter how busy you are, like you were balancing three jobs at the time.
Mm,
Like, yeah, you had to wake up early doors, but it's still doable. It's not like a lot of
mm.
people will be like, oh, do you know what? I've got work and then I've got something else in the afternoon. I can't do the gym. Just wake up. But it doesn't have to be. I think a lot of people think, oh, I've got to do like a long ass session for it to be beneficial. 30, 45 minutes. And I think you're a big believer, short time in the gym,
Oh
30,
yeah.
45 minutes in and out,
Mm.
jobs are good.
Oh yeah, no, like it puts into a new perspective of what you can do in such a short amount of time.
Mm,
Because during my school days and university days, I was very much into CrossFit as well, which helped me sometimes to stay in shape for rugby and everything. I will
yeah,
say, and I will admit, put my hand up, when I was younger, I definitely overdid it during my training days because I was doing double training days on top of sports as well as some other sports and all the other school curriculum that I was doing outside of lessons. That to a point I injured myself during the warm up of one of the rugby games, and then later on in the season did it again.
mad.
So it's kind of back then, yes, I was younger and more robust to a certain extent. I would be able to bounce back after a heavy day of training, but it definitely put into perspective like you need to actually look after your body in more ways than just lifting weights.
Yeah.
And CrossFit gave me that eye-opening kind of picture where you don't have to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours in the gym. You can spend, as one of my sessions was a few months ago, 13 to 15 minutes.
Mad.
And I went through like 4 to 6 exercises, and was done within 15 minutes. It was just so much better when you kind of know your body a lot more. So I've been training for 10 years, so I kind of understand it and I know what weights that I need to use for certain movements. Just makes it so much easier. And it's kind of like waking up 10 minutes earlier to potentially do like a 3 minute to 5 minute workout of push-ups and squats or literally simply just some burpees.
Mm.
And you don't have to have this hour and a half training session to get what you need done.
No,
Um,
that was just like my
Simple
bodybuilding
stuff.
days. Hour and a half in the gym.
Oh yeah. The amount of times I was just like gobsmacked that you spent like 2 hours in the gym or so, and I was just like, what are you doing? Like you just
No,
must be yapping half the
no,
time.
yeah. I'll be honest. A lot of people be like, a couple of years ago, my sessions used to be up to 2 hours, but that's because I used to take absurd amount of rest. But
Mm,
I stick to that 2, 3 minute timer now. But this gym sessions can take up to an hour and a half. Like when I was doing the bodybuilding, because I wanted to make sure was resting, giving everything in the
mm,
sets I was doing. But I think with the higher ups of CrossFit kind of stuff, it works different as well, doesn't
yeah.
it? Because you can just go, you can have short rests, just get the heart rate down, and then it's just boom, back into the next one kind of thing.
Yeah,
Depends on what your workout you're doing, of course.
exactly. And like with this, with High Rocks and CrossFit, they're very similar in terms of training patterns, kind of if you're doing an endurance session kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, you for high rocks, you need to be working at a capacity of strength under fatigue.
Mm.
So if you're, but then also you need the raw strength as well. So if you're training just for pure strength, then having those 3 to 5 minute rest between sets is perfect. When you get closer to a high rocks or a CrossFit event, maybe something like giving yourself a rest of 90 seconds. So you're getting used to, as you said, lowering your heart rate at a quicker rate, getting it more kind of stable, and then going straight back into the next set. Which is
Yeah.
why I love kind of doing EMOMs or every 2 minutes on the minute, because you already have that set timer. You just have to listen out for the three beeps on the app that I use. And whether you're talking to someone, as soon as those three beeps are there, you're like, right, sorry, I got to go do my set. And you don't spend minutes or minutes past just wasting your rest kind of thing.
That's
So that's what I like to do. And it's
but
just carried on since then.
But no, like I said, it's just you don't. It doesn't have to be a long ass workout. Just wake up 10, 15 minutes. Even with like trying to get your steps in. Like sometimes, yes, at the end of the day, you're like, oh, do you know what? I can't be asked to get my steps in. Sometimes you just have to push it. Or if you know at
Mm,
the end of the day you're not going to do it, or you know you're not going to want to work out, just wake up 20 minutes earlier.
yeah. As,
Again, get the job done earlier.
so this is with one of my clients at the moment. Um, we're trying to get in a slot of 30 minutes of walking in a day.
Mm.
And at the moment we have him trying to do a 30-minute big slot right at the end of the day at the end of work. And
Yeah.
sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. That's due to kind of other responsibilities that he has in his life at the moment, which are taking over, which is understandable. And as a coach, you kind of have to kind of be a bit flexible with that, be like, okay, I completely understand, but how are we going to mitigate that if it happens again? And you have to give them options. So instead of potentially blocking out just pure 30 minutes on itself, I figured out kind of at a 9 to 5 job, you have about 6 hours a day. Or however long it is, probably that's about 6 to 8 hours a day, maybe. I don't know. Really can't do the maths that quickly anymore. And what it is, if you do a slot or a 5 minute walk every 90 minutes, you're getting 6 slots of 5 minute walking, which is 30 minutes in the day. So
Mm.
instead of having and saving a massive chunk of 30 minutes in one go, doing
Yeah.
5 minutes here and there is actually probably a better, more effective use of your time. And then you're like, you don't have to wait when you're tired to do it, and then you're already done. Then you can just chill at home and be like, all right, can I afford to go for another 10-minute walk outside now? And yeah, you can. And then you've done more
No,
work
no more.
than,
I've done my 30 minutes. I'm done. I've done my 30 minutes. I'm done.
yeah, once the time is up, then you're like, ah, I've done
Yeah,
30 minutes, no
screw that.
more.
I
Don't
ain't
need
doing no
to.
more stats. No more stats. That's me done. That's me done.
But no, what I want to know is kind of from your point of view, how is how are you enjoying training from a bodybuilding perspective now you're doing high rocks instead? Which one do you prefer kind of thing?
I think they both have their different aspects. Like
Mm,
I used to like body. I don't know what it was. I used to like bodybuilding because it was more about the way you look
yeah.
and how you present yourself, which was, I think for me, I've always wanted to do it was because it was a way of how lean can I get and how much can I
Mm,
just not challenge my body physically, but challenge my mind.
mentally,
Because
yeah.
it's, I always say it's fat loss, but fat loss 2.0. So it's another extreme of fat loss to
Yeah.
like the next gear up. Whereas high rocks, well, I said to Emma, right, when I finish this bodybuilding, I'm going to buy a pair of like cheap trainers and just get out and start running.
Mm,
Start a running plan. And then, because I always used to hate running because in the past I used to run like my old housemates and we would run, but it would be what I found challenging and it
yeah.
wasn't enjoyable. And then we'd be like doing 3, 4 kilometers. I'd be like not even. I'd be like huffing and puffing, like struggling to catch my breath and things like that. I'd be like, and
Yeah.
it was just not enjoyable. So I was worried that I wouldn't enjoy it, but surprisingly, I am actually really enjoying the running at the moment,
Mm,
which is shocking for me. I am enjoying the idea of high rocks. It's not easy, I can't lie. It's not
No.
easy. I think it's like the whole aspect, like you said, running straight into the station, which I'm not used to. So like, if I
Yeah.
go straight into that sled push, God, my quads are on fire. Whereas if
Mm.
I know, right, I can, if I had rest and not do anything before, I know I could just easily push that weight back
Yeah.
and forward. It's a different kind of perspective. So don't get me wrong, I like both of them. And
Yeah.
but they have their different aspects. Like I
Exactly.
wouldn't
Yeah.
turn
Yeah.
my nose up to bodybuilding. I would never turn my nose up to high rocks and things like that. So yeah, I enjoy it both. To be fair, it's just that they have their different elements.
Good. No, it's
Mm.
just like I remember like when you usually first start coming to the gym, unless you're in the athlete world, the main focus is the physique and looking as lean as possible, getting as much muscle onto the mass.
Yeah,
But then at the exact same time, when you're looking at that leanness, you're kind of restricting yourself with the food, and it's like
yeah,
finding that balance between looking lean and fueling yourself properly and not going starving because
that's it.
it's a fine balance. It's a fine line. It is a fine line. And I think there was at one point I never got fully into bodybuilding. But because I was working out so much and burning a lot that I kind of just shredded up naturally.
Yeah,
And although I looked probably in the best shape that I ever did, I will hold hand on my heart say I felt probably the worst I've ever felt.
yeah,
Like no matter what I was eating, I just wasn't filling myself up properly. And although I looked good in the mirror, I was just like, I'm drained constantly. I'm so tired all the time. And it's kind of a different kind of respect for bodybuilders.
mm.
They do get that kind of stereotype, like, majority of them are blasting steroids and gear and everything like that. But the
Yeah.
ones
That's
who are the ones who are kind of doing it naturally, they are just not all the time, but when they're getting close to the competition, which you might have found, they're hungry all the time and they're low on
mm.
energy, and you're just like the discipline to kind of challenge yourself, as you said, mentally to not eat as what you want
It's
is
mad.
difficult.
It's mad because
It's yeah.
yeah, it's mad because what first 7, 8 weeks like
Mm,
in prep fine. Those last five weeks or so was hell. Like I always felt inside I was say like this is hard. And then you've got like I had we had Emma's High Rocks, which was in Cardiff, which we went down
mm,
to. And I was there like, yeah, Sam, like, do you know what? I felt pretty good. I felt pretty good and things like that. I did a client group walk or like a couple of weeks out from my show. And we went to Beacon Hill. So we went, oh, we did one little loop and then we went up this really
mm.
steep hill. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, but constantly you're thinking about food as well. Like
Mm,
that whole walk, but even though I was talking to them and like getting on well with them, food. Can't wait to
yeah.
have breakfast. That Americano from Starbucks. Oh, I can't wait.
Mm,
12 o'clock, I'm going to be having lunch, blah, blah, blah. It's mad the way you look at it. And I remember looking back at the photos because my clients were there like, Rich, you didn't look yourself. You looked a bit upset. I was like, no,
mm.
I'm all right. I look back at the photos now and I look like I forced that smile out. And the same with like, I'm like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Same with when I went to Cardiff, like we
Mm,
took a photo where the Gavin and Stacey sign is on Barry Island. No, I had phenomenal time. I had a phenomenal time. Emma had a fish and chips. I had my meal prep.
what you
Yeah,
needed.
yeah. But I look back at that photo and just like it looks forced. I said to myself, I swear it's not forced. It just looks forced. I promise I had a sick time there. I swear.
Mm. Which is why I'm like I respect it, but me personally, I could never do that because you see me training, you see what I do. As I just need food. I
Yeah,
need food because I need that fuel to perform,
that's it.
and that's where the different styles of training comes in.
Mm.
And I enjoy mine because I get to chuck heavy weights around and have fun. And I can also, to a certain extent, eat during my training sessions.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Sour
and
Patch Kids, yeah.
yeah,
Ah.
always. But like there was one time our manager literally came around the gym and I was just eating my overnight oats whilst in my break between squats. And he was just like, "Are you actually eating during training?" I was like, I'm hungry. Like
Mad.
I need fuel to get through the squats that I'm
But
doing.
that's different. That's you're eating the full meal rather than like some Sour Patch Kid munching on some carbs like that. That's mad.
I know it's
Does it not feel
it's
uncomfortable?
very rarely. Very
Guys,
rarely because I spread it out across the whole session. It's not like I'm eating it like 5 minutes within 5 minutes and then going into squats. Like I spread it out. But yeah,
that's probably something
it's
I would do.
mm. But I would always recommend like if you've got an hour session, having something to just kind of fuel yourself throughout, whether you're training for physique or not, like just something like that, just to keep the energy systems or energy levels that little bit higher so you can actually push through the whole session.
I am a
Um,
big believer that the two times you should be having carbohydrates is before your session and in your final meal before bed.
mm,
Those are the two times you should be consuming your carbs. This is what I say.
mm. Do you know why would you say that? Especially the one before bed. I get the one before training, but why
Mm.
before bed?
Before bed, it's to help you sleep as well.
Ah,
Help aid with your sleep. So you have your last meal 2, 3 hours before bed. Well, this is what I
yeah.
used to do. I always made sure that the cream of rice and prep was my last
Mm,
meal, and I'd have that to you do your digestion and walk for 5 minutes. I didn't do that. I just sat on the
mm.
sofa contemplating life and feeling like can't wait to have that fucking cookie after that show. And then
You
I'd
were
just
thinking
you
about that cookie the
all
whole
that cookie.
time.
Oh my God, that cookie. Oh,
It was
cookie.
worth the wait though.
Oh, it's definitely was. Didn't eat four on that day. It was
Mm.
good, but it just helps with sleep performance as well. I know it sounds
Ah,
weird to say performance, but it just helps with your overnight sleep and it prevents
yeah.
you from waking up in the middle of the night as much.
Well, that sleep is going to help you with recovery. Like,
Mm,
if you can do anything to kind of boost any sort of recovery, improving your sleep is the first way to go about it.
that's
Like,
it.
don't look at these kind of saunas, ice baths, the UV lighting for your skin. Look at or for your muscles. Look at improving your nutrition and improving your sleep. Those are the two things that need to be looked at first. Because if you're getting like 3 to 4 hours sleep, I will say sometimes I do that.
Uh,
But if you're getting like 3 to 4 hours sleep, your recovery is just not going to be there. And you're not going to be able to perform because your muscles haven't had enough rest and repaired themselves. And then nutrition, you need the energy, you need the protein to help in aid that recovery of the muscles once you've broken them down from training. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to sustain that performance, whether you train, whether you run, or whether you play a sport. You're just not going to be at the level you need to be.
that's it.
Um, but what about your kind of coaching? Are you looking to just stay coaching clients? Do you want to go group coaching, or what's the kind of plan for the future?
For me, I enjoy face-to-face coaching. I
Mm,
feel like I that's a bit of me, and I can actually show everyone my kind of energy.
yeah,
Like I'm quite tamed as we speak right now, but in the gym I'm flying. Like even some of my clients would be like, "The hell is you all right?"
you
I'll,
are
I'll be
you
like,
are very energetic with your
"Well,
clients.
give me
It's great to
golden
see.
retriever energy." Um, so
Very true.
I love that face-to-face element. Group coaching, I think the most I would do at the moment is just paired PT. So like
Yeah.
couples, like mother and daughter kind of thing is what I
Mm,
PT at the moment. I do enjoy that element because then one's resting, one can go. It depends on whether you're doing strength training or whether you're doing higher ops training or whatever. But normally
yeah.
it's strength training, so one will be resting, one will be going, and then they'll switch around.
Swap over. Yeah.
And then online coaching, I'm thoroughly enjoying the online coaching, like just helping people because they don't have to
Mm,
be here. It's like they could just drop me a message, they can send me
yeah.
coaching things. So It's quality. What about yourself?
Well, yeah, same with the one-to-ones. Like, I don't think I'm not a guy who naturally smiles, as you probably have figured out. It takes me quite a bit to smile or cut people I'm comfortable with. Um, but when I'm with my clients and something like a movement clicks or they get a new PB, like I don't think I smile as much as when I'm in that kind of moment because it's like
Mm.
I'm helping someone like build up their confidence, get them a new PB, get them to where they want to be, and it fills you up with that kind of joy kind of thing. But over the past couple of years, I think I have had that switch where I want to be in the more sports kind of based field, where last year it was hectic with my work schedule. I was down in Cambridge with the university doing the women's rowing club, and I was also in Notts doing an internship with the championship rugby side as a
Mad.
strength and conditioning coach. So getting a taste of those environments, like the second highest level of rugby in England, and then also being one of the most prestigious universities helping with their rowing club when only what 3, 4 years ago now I got introduced to the world of rowing just on a random weekend when I went to the Netherlands.
Mad.
Um, and I met this rowing coach. I just wanted to have a training session in the gym round the corner, and he was like, "Yeah, come down at this time." Um, and then instead of doing my own training session, he got me to kind of lead their gym session and teach them how to do the clean part of the movement. And I was just like, "I'm here on holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just
Bro's been working.
why am I working on a holiday at 10 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday? Like this was not the plan at all.
Did you get paid for it?
No, no,
That's sad.
but
So put it on your
I know.
CV. I did like 30
Well,
minutes.
oh yeah, well, this is the thing. Like, since then, me and him have been on quite a few training camps, and we've moved to a different university in the Netherlands, and we've been coaching there like for the last 2 years. And we've seen some really good progress in the two crews that we coached. And just this year, we took that university, the men's four crew, uh, to Henley for the first time in 27 years.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, it was a pretty big moment personally for my career because that's shown the hard work that the programming that I've put the boys through have really showed off. Like their strength went up, and they're a lot more robust. We only had a crew of like 4 to 6 people, so throughout the season, I think we only got like maybe one injury, and in rowing, that is quite impressive because of the amount of volume that they go through. So to be able to have a four crew by the end of the season with only 4 to 6 people in the squad to choose from is just a testament to A, the coach who was with them day to day, and B, the effort that they put in throughout the whole season.
Yeah,
Um, and to take their university back to Henley for the first time in 27 years was massive. It was a
that's
huge
crazy.
moment for the rowing club. So I hope that I can continue um, kind of involving myself in that environment within team sports and helping athletes just kind of like progress to the next level and get them to see what their potential is.
Yeah,
So this season, I haven't got a team that I'm coaching because I'm now myself back to playing rugby again.
woo!
So yeah, after enjoying 2 days of full retirement from the sport,
Come on.
I then signed for a semi-professional club
Oh,
and playing there instead of coaching. But
which club is it?
Leicester Lions.
Leicester Lions. With your
So we're
oversized jumper.
Yes, I do have that lovely
Mm.
oversized jumper. It's very comfortable and I practically live in it nowadays. But yeah, it's going well. Adjusting back to actually full-time training is weird because I haven't done an actual rugby training session in about 2 years.
Different to your kind of training, like the 30-minute workouts or 15. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the attack on the body from just running into people and running generally at high speed is a lot more stress than you expect, especially on the hard ground at the time at the moment. But I'm enjoying it, and also I'm starting to put into place a few things to help with our performance on and off the pitch.
Mm.
So trying to implement S&C kind of protocols whilst I'm also training as well is proving hard, but I think in the long run across this season we'll see the benefit come through. So knock on wood that happens, and
That's
I
what
can still progress as an S&C as well as a rugby player. So
sounds like exciting
exciting times.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the great guys think like, but
Oh,
but to finish it up, um,
yes,
we're gonna finish up with a couple of questions. We don't have many. We've got a
of
couple.
course.
Uh, First question is, what is your hardest session that you have ever done?
What's my hardest session I've ever done? Okay. So in the gym, there was a session where I was doing snatches in an EMOM about 80% of my one rep max. So at the time, I think I was doing 80 kilo snatches, um, one rep every minute on the minute for like 8 to 10 sets. And then straight after that, I was doing 6 sets of, I think it was 6 reps at 80% of my back squat.
Oh,
Um, and yeah, I was working on strength. I will say at that time, I definitely programmed incorrectly my squats. I think it was a it was a program from like Bulgarian squats way back in the 1980s, where they just trained and trained squats on top of squats on top of squats.
mad.
And the reason why they could do it was probably because of the drugs they were on. But
Yeah.
um
What? Who said that?
but
No.
no, for me that was a very hard squat session. And I can't remember the rest of it, but that my legs were very much struggling to do a box jump, I will say at the end of that.
That
But
says something.
if yeah, exactly, definitely overworking at the time. But on the pitch side, when it's rugby or conditioning, um, one of my hardest ones was broken Broncos. So a Bronco rep is starting on the try line, so that's your 0 meters. You go
Yeah.
out to a 20 meter, come back to the 0 meter line, go out to the 40, come back, and then finish at the 60 meter line and come back to the zero. So that's just one rep.
Uh,
Um,
How many did
Getting
you
back
have to do?
into, huh?
How many did you have to do?
So
You
for the
just said
test, you
that's
do,
just one rep. That's
yeah, so
mad.
for a test, you have to do 5 of those unbroken as
Uh,
fast as you can. Whilst I was training for that prep, for that test, I was doing like double broken Bronco reps every 3 minutes. So I was giving myself just about 2 minutes to complete the 2 reps, 60 seconds rest, and I was doing that 5 to 10 times, something like that.
That's
So
ridiculous.
that was a brutal one. That was probably one of my worst sessions that
Yeah.
I've done before.
Could be me. Could be me.
Too much running for
No,
you, Rich.
no. I'll probably fall out on the floor. Fall on the floor halfway through. Not even halfway through. After one
Put
lap, I'll be
put
like,
put you in a pool, and you'll be fine with that.
no, yeah, yeah. Not a chance. That's still too far. Um, how's your rugby training going? What is your goals for the season, and what is your preferred position?
So my preferred position actually is blindside flanker, so the number six in the scrum. Um, but the position I usually get played in is a second row, kind of the engine room. Just do the grunt work, don't get praised for it at all, and
Yeah.
then have a swift pint at the end of the game and just head down and head home.
Sounds like a
Um,
plan.
oh, it's a great kind of day's work, and then you're like, I just can relax for the day
I
after
pretty
it's
much
happened.
did all the graft in there and then not even acknowledged. That's mad.
That's how I like to play though. Like, if I score a try, it's the team who put me into that position to score. And if I
Hmm.
set up the try, then it's the person who scored it, and his job, he did his job great because he finished it off. Like I don't like taking the praise. It's not what I do. It's a team sport at the end of the day. You need
That's
all
it.
15 players doing their role to get there. Um, for the season, my goals for the season is kind of I would love at the end of the season to have a bigger semi-professional contract, maybe at a team in a higher league, or um, promotion with the current team that I'm at.
Yeah,
Um, but at the end of the day, this is my first full season back into rugby in about 5, 6 years
not bad.
since pretty much leaving uni. So it's the main aim is just to finish the season unbroken.
That
That is,
is
that
it.
is the main aim.
Yeah, come out in one piece.
Yeah, that is the main aim. But as I said, with rugby and with team sports, I want to just enjoy it.
Would
I
you
don't
would
want it to feel like a chore kind of
would you
thing.
want to go professional with it? Like if it
That
came to the
has
time,
that has
you know,
always been a dream of mine to play professional sports. If I get the opportunity, I will take it with my hands. Like I am welcoming that and jumping on it right away, which is why I think I took this opportunity this season. So as I said, I retired at the end of last season, and within 2 days, I had a message from a coach at Leicester Lions saying, I think you'll fit into this kind of environment really well, and we would like you to play for us.
yeah,
It took me 2 weeks to give them the answer because I was like, my body's broken. I want to go into Olympic weightlifting more full time because I was really enjoying it at the time. And having that opportunity, I spoke with my mum and a few other people close to me, and they were like, "You'd be stupid not to at least give it a try.
yeah.
Like, no matter, like, you can go for a season. If it works, and you can push on even further. If it doesn't, then you can be like, okay, that's it. Like,
Back
I
to
gave it a try.
weightlifting.
Exactly. Yeah, I always have an option B, no matter where I'm going.
Mm.
And I think that's the important thing. So yeah.
Always having that different route to go. I mean, the main part is
Mm.
that at least you're giving it a go.
Yeah.
'Cause then you can see whether it's going well and you want to continue, whether it's your thing, whether it's not your thing, kind of thing. Just
Yeah.
got to find what's working thing. 'Cause at least you can go like you can come out of it and be like, yeah, fucking enjoying it. Let's go for round two. Or you know what, it's not my cup of tea. At least I give it a
Yeah.
go. But because not a lot of
And
people would do that.
it just shows like different people develop at different times. Like I went to Loughborough Uni. I've played around people who have been in academy like pro teams. And because I was injured at that time, I didn't get an opportunity to show what I am as a player. And now, 4 or 5 years later after uni, I'm not playing sport consistently, but I get one game that I play really well in, get seen, and I get an opportunity to push on in my rugby career. So it's just kind of another thing, like just keep working hard. If you keep staying consistent and kind of doing things that you enjoy, not putting too much pressure on yourself, any opportunity can open the door at any given time.
That's
So
it. That's
yeah.
what we'd love to hear.
Mm,
Um, I've got a question, but my first question before I ask you this one,
mm,
what crazy charity events or charity things have you done in the past? Because I know one of them was your 24-hour row. So I remember being on
mm,
shift on a Sunday on New Year's Eve and you were rowing until New Year's Day. So
mm.
tell us all the different charity like little charity events or challenges you've done for yourself or you done?
So probably my most mentally challenging one was that rowathon,
Mm.
where I sat on the rower for 24 hours, and just rode that whole day from midnight to midnight, bringing the new year.
Do you know how far you rode, like distance
Um,
wise?
I, off the top of my head, no, I can't right now, but I can safely say I maxed out the distance on the row about 3 times.
What's that,
So,
99,000?
I can't remember, but it got to a point where it was like 3 or 4 hours on the rower and it just reset. And I was
Mad.
like, "Oh, okay, so it has a lifeline."
That would frustrate me. I'd be like, no, just carry on adding. Don't. Oh, I couldn't
Yeah,
do that.
just don't stop. Just let yourself go for 24 hours.
Mad.
Then I would say my next one was the triathlon, the full distance triathlon I did in Nottingham. It was a 3.8K swim, 180K bike ride, and a marathon to finish off.
Please tell me you did train for that one.
I did train for
Oh,
that,
thank God.
but I did only give myself 6 months to train for it.
It's
Most
yeah, I get 6 months, but it's better than you know,
better than nothing.
like you did that marathon like a couple of months back, and you said, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking do it. I was like, okay,
Yeah, yeah, that marathon was a rough one. Yeah, did no training as you said for that. But I was just my hamstrings gave way before that, and then it's just your mental side. If you have a strong mental head, then you can get through most things.
some people look
Um,
at you. Some people look at you and be like, "What God, I wish I had what Tom has, like just to be able to do a marathon without any training." Some people be
but
lucky to finish a marathon and train for it.
yeah, but that just goes to my background of sports. Like my parents pushed me into sports, to keep me active, really. I used to do running as a kid.
Mm.
I've been playing cricket, football, hockey, even dabbled in a bit of swimming, even though I was awful
Oh,
at it.
no.
A little bit. But like compared to my other sports, I was awful at swimming. So I was really happy that they kind of pushed me into that kind of area. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today, helping other people on their journey.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to do certain things like a full distance triathlon, a 24-hour row, even a marathon with barely any training other than Olympic weightlifting and occasional runs here and there.
Mad.
Um, but I think there was another one that I ended up doing for charity, which didn't start off as a charity kind of thing. Um, it was 4 miles every 4 hours, but for 96 hours.
I remember
So
that
for
one.
4 straight days, it's kind of a play on David Goggins, 4 hours, 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. But a fitness guy that I follow on YouTube and Instagram, Fergus Crawley. He's an endurance athlete. He's also done strongman competitions, powerlifting, and the full distance Ironman as well, a full distance triathlon at the one event that I did it at. Um, and he did that challenge, but did it for 96 hours. And I was like, okay, how easy would it be for someone living on their own with no one really like there to support with food, like helping sleep, like get better, like doing everything on your own? How easy would that be? Luckily,
Mad.
I had like one or two friends to help me on some of the runs as well. But I lived in a flat, in a block of flats at the time, and I lived on the top floor. So walking up those stairs was just awful after day two. I was just like, I need a bloody stair lift at this point. It was awful.
Mad.
I was happy that it was over on day four, but it
How did the sleep like how did you get into the sleep? Because if you're thinking that yeah, you would have to waking up like every 3, 4 hours to run even in the middle of the night. How did that work?
um there were, well, a lot of alarms, Rich. A lot of alarms.
Uh,
I will say this, I did miss one of the alarms once, but then my body woke me up and was like, Tom, you're supposed to be running.
4 hours. Oh.
Get out of bed and go. And I was like, no, I can't. But I was like, you're halfway through the challenge. You can't just stop now. It was like, because I was so tired, I think my body just allowed myself to sleep. Um, it was challenging because I did it the day after I left my 9 to 5 job. So Friday I left. I started that Friday evening, or Saturday morning, whatever you want to say it. And then Sunday was day two, and I was at work at Pure Gym for the 8 till 4. So I had to do my runs through that shift. The bloody fire alarm was going off every 5 minutes. I swear to
Oh
God,
shit,
that long
yeah.
was like the longest run in the world. And I was like,
Oh.
I'd have to do it on a treadmill as well. Um,
I
I
remember because
think,
that Tuesday was when we had to evacuate everyone twice in the gym. I remember
yeah.
that, yeah.
As I think those three challenges were probably my toughest ones for charity.
Mm,
Um, but when you have something like a charity kind of not expecting you to do something, but like when you have that in the back of your mind, like you're not doing it just for yourself, you're doing it for other people who've put money towards something that you believe in. Like one of my I think two of my always go-to charities are MND and Alzheimer's research, because Alzheimer's affects me and my family.
yeah,
My grandma had it, so it's a really personal one to me. And then MND, motor neuron disease. One of my role models got diagnosed with it a few years ago, and it's something that's becoming more and more like acknowledged, especially in the rugby community. There's now, I think, five big names who have had it in the last like 10 years, whether that's rugby league or rugby union. So it's very
mm.
connected with rugby, which is again close and personal to me. So yeah.
No, it sounds good, man. Honestly, hats off to you. Some of the challenges, and that's me doing what. Instead, if we're going challenges for charity and that, I used to do it with Rebecca, one of our old managers here at the gym. We
Yeah.
did 8 hours on the Stairmaster.
Oh.
We did. We walked. Da-da-dum. We walked the distance of a marathon on a treadmill.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh my God. I had four back-to-back clients after that. I could not walk. I had to get a chair. This was
Yeah.
no
Just
bueno.
sit down.
I couldn't move. And then I've done 12 hours of back-to-back classes in Pure
Yeah.
Gym um, for breast cancer, which I raised £600. I'm looking to do it again I think it's Tuesday the 6th of October. I'm going to try and beat
That's
£600 raised for
yeah.
breast cancer, hopefully. That's the
That's
goal.
very impressive. Just the
Mm.
focus and like the energy that you had to bring to those classes just
I
drains me after one.
who's ready for the first spin class? To be
No,
fair,
I'm sure you'll get support as well from our work, from the
mm,
guys that you know anyway, so
yeah.
you'll be grand.
I think I didn't participate in all of them, and I'm really thankful. I think I had one class where no one turned up, so it allowed me to eat. So if I didn't eat, I'd
Mm.
probably die.
Yeah.
But um, do you know what? For me, it's more execute the classes, participate in the majority of them, but just execute. So like the burn class, I wouldn't get involved, things like that. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
But do you know what I mean?
Very
Like
smart.
I'd get involved in stuff like if I have to do a spin, step, hit,
Yeah.
those kind of classes, because they're some of the classes that you should get involved in. But
Yeah.
yeah. What's your next well, your next question is any crazy charity challenges on the horizon? Have you got any planned or anything?
Not any planned at the moment because I'm playing rugby this season, my weekends are taken up.
Yeah.
Um, I think what I might do is next year, because I'm in need of a big carrier bag, I might do a triathlon Ironman 70.3. Um,
Someone
just for
bought
an
a new
excuse.
wetsuit.
Yeah, wetsuit, get a new big carrier bag so I can go traveling with it. Because I'm in dire need of one. I think that's a great excuse to do another crazy charity event, isn't it?
I remember literally talking to you, and you said, "Oh, look, I bought a new wetsuit." I'd be like, "Oh, sick! Are you looking to do that?" Yeah, an Ironman. You were like, "Yeah, probably like June, July next year." I said, "Sweet. Are you going to train for it?" yeah, rugby conditioning. I said, bollocks to that. If you just do rugby conditioning and pop out, do you know what? Hats off. If you did that, hats off to you because the rugby conditioning, I don't think that's gonna do. I think it'll help a little
It'll
bit, but
do
not.
wonders for the bike and the run.
Yeah, but not for sure. Not man.
No,
Don't do that to yourself.
I think I will do at least 2 months of swimming because also at the exact same time, the swimming is a good way of getting some off-feet conditioning and some recovery for rugby.
Yeah.
Because of the brutal side of rugby, your body's taking hits left, right, and center. So if you
Mhm.
do running on top of that, your body isn't really getting that full rest. So
That's it.
something like like a swim on a Sunday, the day after a game, or like midweek is perfect because it's nice and relaxed. There's not a lot of stress on the body, and you're just gliding, or well, in my case, somewhat sinking into the water. It's a nice way to just relax and take the stress off the body. So you never
Mm.
know. Halfway through the season, I might be back in the pool.
Have you heard of a guy called Matthew Johnson? He did something called Project Seven.
Oh no, I haven't. What's
So
that?
he's a guy that I've seen. He's done 7 Ironmans in seven, like back to back for 7 days.
Hmm.
So he didn't complete either day 6 or day 7, but he did give it a fucking good try, I must say, because he was
Hmm.
going strong. He did day 1. He put like a little photo update on his Instagram, like like day 1, and his root score
Yeah.
was like really high, good sleep. Day 2, his root score was like 1%. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he's fucked already. He's fucked. But you know what?
It's.
Hats off. 7 Ironmans in 7 days. Like one,
Hmm.
like I said to Emma, half jokingly, I said, "Oh, if I was to ever do an Ironman, I would only do it in, I think it was Leeds, because you do it in a lake. I wouldn't want to do
Yeah.
it in the sea. I do it in the lake
Hmm.
because then I know it's just fishes, blah blah blah, no jellyfishes, no nothing. Fam. The other thing is it's financial as well. It's very
Oh,
expensive.
they are very expensive. The one that I'm looking at, I was looking at doing one in the UK, in Swansea, but those tickets sold out so quickly. They
Really.
just went in an instant. But I'm looking at one with my housemate as well, to potentially do abroad. Might do it in the Netherlands or Belgium because they're a little bit cheaper as in ticket wise, but obviously you need the travel, the nights away as well. So evens it out, but it's still a very expensive kind of weekend or day out, realistically.
Would you not do it in like some? I think Sweden they have like a flat course, bit windy, but it's flat. But that's right.
Hmm.
Would you not? Are you not fussed about the gradients and things like that? Or are you just more fussed about the price? Do you know what I mean?
For me, I'm not too fussed about what the terrain kind of thing is.
So
If
even
it's
if it's like
steep,
that,
yeah, if it's that steep, I might have to make considerations. But what I will say, what I learned from my Ironman 3 years ago, it was no matter how flat the course is, after 110k or 150k bike, any small gradient is like that. It feels
yeah,
awful. So I would say don't worry about kind of what terrain or what gradient is. Do what you feel comfortable with. If you want to push yourself, go for that like steep or variation of the gradient. If you want to be like, I just want to complete this, go for a flat one. They have plenty of ones all around the world. So do what you're most comfortable with and go from there.
I like the sound of
But it's
that.
always fun to push yourself with these endurance events. Do it the same with strength events as well. Find a coach that pushes you out of your comfort zone to be like, oh shit, I can actually do something. It's always fun when you get that combination of someone
Mm.
being like, I want to try this, and then there's a coach that like, oh yeah, we're not gonna just try this, we're gonna fucking dominate it. Like it's always fun to try and do that. So yeah. Maybe
Well,
next August or next summer,
oh,
go for a flat one in Europe and go from there.
I like the sound of
Yeah.
that. Right, final question. You know that photo you
Mhm.
sent me where you were getting tackled and you're smiling?
Yes.
Right. Someone says why the beaming smile when you're being tackled, which does have a point. You do look like you're smiling. You look like you're getting like a nice little cuddle there.
Oh yeah. So I sent that to my weightlifting coach at the time, and I was like, Also, can you just see how much I'm smiling? I don't think any man has smiled like that whilst running into another man's arms.
Yeah,
Um, Basically, for me, rugby is and will always be a happy place. I feel kind of comfortable on that field. Um, that was my first game back that entire season, my one and only game actually that entire season. We had a few injuries, and I was like, I'll do it. It's the final game of the season. What have we got to lose? Just enjoyment and stuff like that. Um, and that was my first or second carry in that game. And if you actually zoom out of the picture on the full one, you actually see a person on the floor just to the right. And that is
yeah.
the person that who tried to tackle me initially, and I bumped him out of the way and sat him on his ass, which is probably why that smile.
People won't see it, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like
it's because of the background. Oh
we'll
well.
you'll put it up or I'll put it up somewhere, and you can
Yeah.
just see that's why I was so happy because I was like I was kind of giggling to myself that I just sat someone down on the floor.
That's
Um,
just easily as well.
yeah,
You
it
get
was.
the other guy all worried about.
What I will say is I came off the bench, so I was feeling fresh. He was probably already 50 minutes into the game, so feeling a little bit worse for wear. So I'll give it
We
to
look at
him.
the two
But
different facial expressions. It'd be two different ones. You happy?
then
Him going. "Ooh."
yeah, and then there's I zoomed in on one of the people on the background on that photo as well, and he's just like almost as surprised as me. He's like, "Oh, we've actually got a good game on our hands now," kind of thing. Like he's just run over one of our players. But yeah, as whenever I'm on that pitch, it's just a different kind of feeling. I go nice and relaxed sometimes. And the main aim is to just to enjoy yourself. If you're not there to play with your mates and like have a big smile on your face, you're doing something wrong in my mind.
Yeah, it's just maybe it's not the right thing for you. Like
Yeah.
swimming for me, I always used to like really enjoy. I
Mm,
remember my parents getting me into swimming so that when we went on holiday, we can
mm,
swim in the sea and they wouldn't have to worry about it. We could get out safely. And then it just turned into competitive swimming. And then I always had that dream of wanting to go to the Olympics, more specifically 2024 Olympics.
mm.
Um, and then it like becoming Spanish national gold medalist and things like that. It was always something I used to enjoy. I used to enjoy pushing
Yeah.
myself in there. And then towards the back end, you do find that point where you're there, like, you know what? I think it's time to call it quits, kind of thing. And for
Yeah.
me, it was the right time to put my hat and goggles up for good and just
Yeah.
start that PT career. Move on, start
Yeah.
bodybuilding, high rocks thing,
Exactly.
triathlons,
Like
ultras,
the
backyard ultras. Oh, we got to get that's the next challenge, backyard
if you
ultra.
absolutely not, I'm not built for that. Um,
No, don't give me that. You do it without any training. You complete it. You still
um,
come out top 10.
yeah, let's hope so. Maybe one day. What I will leave you with is going on that kind of leaving a sport when you're ready. Um, is Matt Fraser, five-time CrossFit champion. When he was a teenager, he was doing Olympic weightlifting. At the time, he wanted to go to the Olympics for Olympic weightlifting with the USA, with the USA
Mm.
team. And he got injured so badly that when he left the sport, he left on really bad terms.
Yeah,
So he's openly spoke about this that when he leaves CrossFit, he wanted to leave on his own terms without any hate towards the sport,
sport.
so that it's kind of like knowing when to hang up the boots on your
Mm.
own terms and stuff like that. Like you don't
Yeah,
want to push your career to a point where you're hating it because if you're hating it, you're never going to like look forward to it. You're just going to be in that kind of circle, like constant loop, just like, oh, I've got to go to do this. Oh, I've got to
yeah.
go do that. Oh, we got a game now. Like you're not going to enjoy it. So if you're starting to find yourself feeling like that, know when it's time to quit and move on. And like you
It's
never know. A few years down the line, you could come back to it and feel so much happier.
Masters. No, joking. No chance.
So what's
But
happened to me, I can't get away from it. I was happy for the first time leaving the sport. It's dragged me back in and I get another year around the circle around the sun with it.
no, I think if I continued with the swimming, I think that I would have left it in bad. I think that would have ruined what 15 years of enjoyment just for that
Exactly.
one, just continuing it. Whereas
Yeah.
now I know I've finished it on a good note, so can't complain on that. Like chuffed with that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's quality. All
Good.
right. To finish it off, my man, to finish off this little podcast, is there anything you want to say to anyone out there in general? Have you got any advice, anything you want to share, or to leave on?
Um,
Anything?
I would say, oh, put me on the spot here.
You could have
What
some
I would
time to
say is
think.
just no, it's I'd say just stay consistent with something. Put a goal on a place where you can see, whether that's the fridge or one of your cupboards or your bedroom door, and push yourself to do it. Even if it's just starting to run. Just be like, okay, how do I do that? And just stay consistent with it because you never know what doors could be opened with that.
That's
So yeah, that's it.
quality stuff, my man. Quality stuff. Well, thank you for joining on this podcast, my man.
Thank you for
And
having me, Rich.
I'm sure we'll have you again some point soon to see how your semi-professional rugby journey is going and if you've signed up to that Ironman.
17.3, yeah. All
And the
good.
ultra marathon that I'm just gonna suddenly just drop some hints there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that,
Don't worry.
yeah. Uh, well,
I'll
well, well,
I'll probably do one on my own.
yeah. Hey, I'm not doing that.
No, knowing me, I'll probably do it on my own. I'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a random Saturday. I'll just go out, just do a run and just
I know it would be like we'll just sit in the story. I'm trying the backyard ultra, 4 mile loop, and I'll be like, oh no, just out of the
it
blue. We
started
no doesn't
already.
even tell anyone. It just comes out of the blue. We're like, what the fuck is he on?
Yeah.
But no,
It's
well,
just how I work. Just keep it silent until it happens.
fairs. Anyways, my
All right.
man, thanks for
Catch you in a
joining.
bit, Rich. Thank you
See
so
you in a
much.
bit.
In a bit. Bye.